everyone, this is Dan Shore Music Channel on YouTube. I know I've never really talked face-to-face with anyone on this channel. I have elsewhere on the internet. Let me just move this a little. So I'm sure if you're clever enough, if you go to Google, if you do some Googling, you can find me actually talking on video. Anyways, the point is I wanted to share something and start to share some more things face-to-face on this YouTube channel. Just to put things into context, I've listened to hip-hop since I was like 10. I'm very ashamed actually to admit that my first the thing where it clicked for me was hearing, now don't laugh, and for those of you too young that have never even heard of this, you're making me feel old. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, look it up, go to YouTube, go to Spotify, go to Google. I think he had a song called Vibrations or Good Vibrations, or maybe that was the Beach Boys or something, but anyways, his most popular song, if you can even call it hip-hop. If you go to the very end, there's a guy that's playing a jazz piano solo over this Marky Mark beat. It's kind of more like a dance beat, I think, from what I remember. It's a little faster than hip-hop. But anyways, the point is, I was 10. I think I was about 10, maybe 11. That was the first time it clicked for me. Hip-hop was a genre of music that kind of pulled in jazz, it pulled in classical music, it pulled in all these other things that I liked, even I knew at 10 years old at that time that I liked. But what really clicked was, wow, there's an actual pianist playing with this hip-hop music. And from that point on, whether it was DJ Jazzy Jeff, or A Tribe Called Quest, or Common, of course, fast forward to Kanye West productions, to Noah 40 productions, I always loved the element of, hip-hop kind of recycling older music, bringing in new stuff, and that creates new music, and then real musicians do stuff with that. And about how you could play jazz over hip-hop, how you could play classical over hip-hop. And I love that. So if you go back to my past videos, you see probably that my background is as a pianist. I went to school for music. I know, let me tell you something, there's a lot of people out there talking about hip-hop theory. It really makes me want to maybe do some videos of my own explaining why these harmony videos out there are just terrible. There's definitely some wrong harmonies out there in some YouTube videos, some wrong explanation of chords. But anyways, my background is 90% playing instruments, playing piano, playing keyboards, playing drums. You can go back and find a live hip-hop band that I used to play in called the Press Project. I wrote the music, played the keyboards. We opened up for the Roots one time. That was cool. That's something I can brag about now. You can find that video on YouTube. Just Google the Press Project opening for the Roots. And yeah, you can find that. But anyways, the point is I've been trying some production, and it's in Reason 7, and I'm just really excited to share stuff about hip-hop music. I mean, I get the lyrics are cool, I get the artistry in that, I really appreciate it. I don't care for all the lyrics, but, mainly what my ears focus in on is the hip-hop music, the production, the sampling, the instrumentals. That's what I love about hip-hop music. I've been learning some production stuff and playing around and experimenting, and I'm just honestly really excited to share what I did, what I came up with for this beat, and maybe it will inspire somebody out there. Maybe eventually I can inspire somebody to pick up some, to learn a little bit more about harmony, or really anything. I mean, if you educate yourself to harmony, to theory, to rhythms, to how music works, you're going to be such a much better producer, a musician, a better artist, a better creator because of all that stuff. I recorded an 8-bar pattern from scratch. So I'm playing the keys, I'm playing the drums live on the keyboard, and I'm going to play that for you first, and then just explain a little bit about how I sampled it. So here's the original 8-bar pattern. I'm playing everything live on the keys. I don't think there's any quantizing in this. So maybe in a future video I can go a little deeper into how I do something like that, and why I composed it that way, because I know how I want to sample it later, but I don't quite have time for that in this video. But anyways, there's I think 4 different ways that I sampled this, and I haven't, like I said, I'm just kind of like learning sampling as I go. I'm learning the hip hop production stuff as I go, just kind of teaching myself. So first what I did is I just made this into, I chopped everything up, 2 beats each, so 2 chops, a measure, and just put it in here straight away. So So that's it. That's the first way I sampled it. Second way is I did the same thing, but it's a version with a pretty extreme high-pass filter. So that's when I'm composing the song. I'm actually layering those 2 versions. It's the same chop at the same time, but that's it. What I found is it gave me a nice low-end feel and a high-end feel. I'm not sure if that's something that's done in other production methods, but it's something that I liked how it sounded. Then I did a version of it where what I did is I basically soloed the drums and the bass and then sampled that, and that's 1 beat samples. And you get the idea. So when I'm choosing what chops to use, when I'm making the sample, I don't like every single part of it. Like, for example, in the original beat, that transition part was a little bit off, I thought. Some of those bass drum hits, I think, are not quite falling in the right place. And that's, like I said, because I'm not quantizing anything, because I like that kind of that real human feel to it. But when you're choosing what chops, obviously you're not gonna choose from everything. And then I got one more version. So what I did this time is I muted the bass and the drums, and then I did a version with just the other instruments. I don't have to play through the whole thing, but that, of course, is 2 beats each, or 2 chops per measure with that. So then I had so that was all the different ways I had the samples. What I did from there, and unfortunately I don't forget the patterns to demonstrate them, but as I just found ways that I liked, of course, of putting those together, and I played them all live and recorded them. I played the samples live and recorded them. I know that's obviously the most common way to do it. And for anyone that's curious, in Reason 7, I'm using the, I believe it's called the Rex, Dr. Octo Rex sampler. And I really like this one because you can instantly, as you saw here, you can pretty easily adjust the frequency, the resonance, of course the tempo, a lot of things about the sample in a pretty easy way, and it starts to sound pretty good, I think, right away once you start to make some of those adjustments. So all I did, like I said, from there was really break the different parts of the song into sections. I recorded a whole bunch of different blocks. So, like I said, I come from more of a musician background, so I love to just kind of get in there and try to play things live, very improvised, to keep it very fresh, and just to really not try to control things too much. So I recorded probably a dozen or more different blocks where I recorded, I'll show you an example actually, where I would just play through the sample. I would get the idea down for the sample first. So like this one, I think I first was putting down, I really like this instrumental arrangement of the instrumental samples. Now for anyone, if you've been clever enough to pick up on that, I'm only hitting 3 samples, so this section is actually a 6-beat phrase. So it has to happen a bunch of times to line back up on a beat 1. for anyone kind of studying rhythm or, music theory. But then what I did is I laid on top of that the other version of the sample that has the drums and the bass. So first is just this, and then with everything, and so that's two samples laid on top of one another. That's the instrument part and the rhythm part. Because I recorded this myself, I know that they're going to kind of go together in terms of pitch, harmony, the rhythm, and just the overall feel and texture of it. Because I'm just taking an original recording, splitting it into two separate samples, and then putting it back together with a different arrangement because of how the order I'm triggering the different chops. So that's just one example. Another example of something that I would do is have a sample play. So that there is the actual 8-bar pattern, just note for note, without the bass and drums. That's that sample. And then what I did is just live would record a drum part and a bass part over that. And I had a general idea of what I wanted to do. In fact, this was the second version of this section. But really I wanted to give it kind of that live feel. And so I just recorded the bass drum and the snare drum, put hi-hats on that, and then recorded the bass and played everything on the keys, and then that resulted in this section here. And of course in the real song I added some different transitions and things. I didn't mention, you can find this beat on SoundCloud. I'm on SoundCloud /Dan Shore, S-H-U-R-E, like the microphone. No relation though, unfortunately. But you can send me some free mics anyways. I mean, I've got the same name as you. You can find this on SoundCloud. It's called The Atmosphere. Some of the pictures that came to mind when I was putting this track together were maybe like swirling clouds, swirling atmosphere type of thing. I don't know. Maybe that's just silly. That's what it's called. It's on SoundCloud. You can find it there. And yeah, really, that's all I wanted to show you. I was just excited about that, and I kind of wanted to give a little bit of my spiel at the beginning about why I'm making this kind of video, and really what hip-hop music means to me. Like I said, I've listened to it for so long. I really can't imagine it not being a part of my life, whether it's playing it, listening to it, talking about it, sharing it. And I think that anybody making hip-hop music out there, we can do better. We can make music that we can build upon what people have done before us. We can keep the genre of hip-hop music, instrumental hip-hop music production, evolving and changing and growing. So I think all of us making hip-hop music can keep improving it and keep making it better. That's what I hope all you are trying to do out there, to really respect the art of it. That's really all I wanted to kind of rant about today. But thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments. I'll get back to some of these piano cover videos and tutorial videos that I've been doing lately as well, for anybody waiting for that. If you've stuck around for this entire 15.5 minutes, I appreciate it. I'm very shocked that you have, and I hope to see you again sometime. Thank you.